Everyone. In today's video, let's have a quick look at recent tweets from DENT on one of the key milestones for Q4, which is the launch of DENT eSIM. So they are planning to launch DENT eSIM in 20 different countries. So now DENT is trying to get into the mobile virtual network operator area, so which is pretty good actually, um, because that would provide a greater audience for the prepaid market. And imagine, in the past 2 years, Dent has been playing the role of a top-up provider. So if you come, it's a third-party app, and users of Vodafone or AT&T or Verizon, they can use Dent as a third-party app to buy mobile data or voice minutes, and they can send top-ups for cross-border as well. So that's the role that Dent has been playing in the past 2 years. And so most of the users that Dent has in their app, which is roughly around 22 million users as we speak now, are mostly on the developing countries, where they are using this app for getting free incentives, which would then they can use it for buying mobile data. It's basically for free. So that's the reason you have a huge user base in a short span of 1.5 years time, but which is really good. So they have got a good user retention, and they have a very good daily active users as well. It's not just they have 22 million users, but the daily active users are also increasing every day. Since the offer wall launch 2.0 launch, the incentives have started growing as well. So right now, imagine I'm on Vodafone network, and if I have to top up my prepaid phone, I would probably prefer to go to Vodafone, because that I would find my provider as more native to me for top up, rather than going to some third party provider and buying data from them. So what, as a mobile Vodafone user, what I would probably preferentially doing is I would download Vodafone's app on my phone and buy my data on the way, on the fly, on the go. So and I would probably add some auto top up, or as some kind of notification on the app when the data or voice minutes goes down below a threshold. I would probably prefer to set up a notification on my app. Then once I see the notification, I would go on to add a top up to my mobile phone. So that's how it's been working. Like, imagine a family with 2 children and a wife and a husband. Four of them are there. Then they would probably do the same. They can top up their children's phone from the Vodafone's app. So now, since now Dent is getting into the eSIM market by playing the role of they're going to get an MVNO license in those 20 countries, and that would open up the doors for a huge user base. So now Dent will start operating as a MVNO. So what that means is, now users can actually, prepaid users can start using mobile Dent as their provider. So once they start using Dent as a provider, they would prefer to go to prefer to use the Dent app rather than any other app for their top up. So that will bring quite a lot of users becoming native users for Dent. So what that means is, basically, Dent as a, so imagine using Dent as my preferred, as my mobile provider. Now it makes more sense for me to use Dent app for top up rather than any other provider, depending on any other provider. And the incentives are pretty good since Offerwall 2.0 as well. So imagine now, if I am a Dent, I use Dent as my mobile network provider, then I would prefer to go to the DENT's mobile app and buy the top-ups rather than going for any other apps basically. So that is going to open up the fiat gateway for DENT. So right now all the users on the DENT app are for the free stuff, freebies basically. So now DENT getting into the MVNO market is going to change the things drastically. So imagine there could be 250 million gross total number of users in those 20 countries that DENT is going to get into, and if they manage to get 1% of that 250 million users, which is 2.5 million users, and these 2.5 million users are actual native customers of DENT because they are using DENT's network now, and their preferred provider for top up would be DENT obviously. And assuming they top up $5 every month for their phones, that would create a fiat revenue of at least 2.5 times 5 is around 15 million bucks coming into the fiat money coming into DENT's app, and that will increase the order book drastically. So that's one of the things that I want to highlight here. And now they have a good chance of getting a good slice of the prepaid market users, becoming native customers for them. So that's a key thing here. So imagine if I am on a Verizon prepaid network, where would I go for top up? Of course, I would go to my provider itself because I have a established trust on my network provider, and I would download and install the Verizon app and just go on the fly. It makes things more easier for me. So using DENT as my mobile provider, now it makes more sense to use the app frequently than the other way around. So now DENT would be the first mobile provider to provide an inbuilt messaging app which lets mobile users to share their data top-ups with other users, just like sending a message, which is a cool, awesome feature that is going to come out in Q1 2020 as well. So let's have a quick look at how it's going to look in a top-down view. So like imagine, so I'm chatting with another user, and now I want to send some top-up to that user, and the screenshot pretty good. So if you see the options here, you can send DENTs to them and let them buy the stuff on their own, or you could request for DENT as well from them, or you can send your mobile data as well, which if you have already any mobile packages you have bought, you can send them as well. And you can send voice minutes, and you can send prepaid top-ups as well. And this is the interesting bit, you can even send an eSIM plan. That is a pretty cool feature, you know what I mean? None of the mobile network provider could provide this feature as we speak now. As we stand now, none of them could do this stuff. No way. All they could do is just a standalone top-up gateway, so that the users can stay with them easily. So, but this is quite different now. This makes sure that they are not just going to get more users. They can every user could potentially send eSIM plans to thousands and thousands of their friends and relatives, and they could sign up. They just have to click and the profile and then activate the SIM plan directly on the app, which is pretty cool feature, you know what I mean? So let's have a look at the third screenshot. So now I have chosen this option to send DENT. So I chose planning to send. You can increase how much you want to send, and then once it's sent, the message is sent. Just buy yourself some mobile data for friends and get those shots. So you can see how cool this inbuilt mobile messaging feature is going to bring. So that will put DENT as the world's first mobile provider to provide an inbuilt messaging app which lets people to send data or even send an eSIM plan on the fly in just a few clicks, as you saw here. just like sending a message. You can send data, and this is going to be a remittance as well under the hood. So which is pretty cool way if you think in an a top-down view. So this all is going to happen now by opening the doors for DENT eSIM. So DENT eSIM is where the next biggest milestone for DENT stands as we stand now. So hope you enjoy the video and have a good time.